Hello and welcome to Cologne School of Journalism. Our guest today is Terri Towner. She is Associated Professor at Oakland University and she's a political scientist. And we are going to talk about the 2018 midterm elections and especially about disinformation. "25% of the content shared around the midterm elections consisted of junk news. Spreading this disinformation were mostly Americans. So what do you think? What motivates them to spread all this disinformation?
Because they think that perhaps this information is credible and real. And a lot of times this information that we're receiving is perhaps considered infotainment or it's entertaining. You know, it's an entertaining meme or it's something that's humorous. So we tend to want to share things with others that are fun and entertaining. And a lot of the misinformation that we're seeing, leading into the 2016 and some of the 2018 elections, was this type of information. That may have been a meme, may have been satire, and this quickly gets shared. It's something we want to share with others, like a chain letter.
Yes. So people just don't care if it's authentic or not.
They may not know if it's authentic or not, or maybe they do not care. We're not fact checking the type of information that we're receiving these days because perhaps we don't know we need to fact check. We assume a lot of the things that we see digitally online is real and authentic when we shouldn't be making that assumption.
President Trump warned about Russia because it was such a big deal in the 2016 elections. Did Russia behave this time, or do they try to influence the elections?
I don't think as much as in 2016. I think in 2018, we did see, information that was coming out of Russia as well as Iran that was misinformation or was fake or inauthentic information. But as much as 2016, no. But also 2018 midterm elections was not a general election. There wasn't a White House at stake. There was a Congress perhaps at stake, but there was much more at stake in 2016. But I would not say the Russians behaved. I would still say that there was some, misinformation that was coming out of Russia that was being spread on social media.
And who is then the main target of disinformation? Who is everyone? Is everybody at equal risk, or are there certain population groups that are more risk than others?
If I was someone who wanted to spread misinformation, my number one target groups would be those who are uninformed and those who lack a lot of knowledge. Now, some would say those who are the most uninformed and who lack a lot of political knowledge are young people. So I would want to target young people with a lot of misinformation. And this is one of the reasons why we see a lot of those who are groups, countries, or those within the United States spreading information. They're using celebrities, Taylor Swift, people who are well known to spread information because they're targeting young people who may not have that crystallized decades and decades of political experience.
I wondered why Taylor Swift's post was such a big thing.
Oh, because it's Taylor Swift. She's well known, she's recognizable, she's very active on social media, and she did a huge get out the vote drive. And a lot of those get out the vote drives that she used, a lot of that was taken and was spun a different way. They used Taylor Swift to say, get out the vote, but make sure you vote the Wednesday after Election Day, which is not Election Day.
Okay. Who should be responsible for solving this big problem of disinformation? Is it the tech companies, the government, the users themselves? What should we do about it?
I would hope that the tech companies would figure out a good way to regulate and identify inauthentic content. I would hope that our government would speak to some of these companies and talk about, what's the best way to handle it. But as an educator, I would put the responsibility on me that as an educator and a scholar, we need to teach social media and information literacy and enabling our own public to more intelligently identify real and fake news, and also teach them how to fact check information properly. What is research and what is not research. So I would put that responsibility on myself. that we need to teach our public and our young people how to better understand and consume the news in a more intelligent way.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your visit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.